last night, Donald Cerrone fought Alex Morono on the Rodriguez versus Watterson card, and I'm just going to say it. I don't think Donald Cerrone is going to be able to break this streak. I absolutely love Donald Cerrone. Everybody knows I love Donald Cerrone. If you follow me on Instagram, link down below to the channel Instagram. But anyway, this is going to be unedited. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to give you my opinion, right? Donald Cerrone, the saying it's difficult to break a streak clearly is true, because what's this? He had 3-4 in a row, then he had a draw with Nico Price, and now with Alex Morono, who's not like a high level guy in terms of ranking or in terms of like attributes, or like Alex Morono finished him in one round, and Alex Morono is not a first round finisher. You can see throughout his whole career he's had few first round finishes here and there. He's been around for a while, but he's not like a renowned first round finisher, and he doesn't hold that type of like one punch knockout power. And Cerrone did fairly well to stay in there, but then the referee stopped it because Cerrone wasn't doing anything and he was rocked. You can just tell by that Morono doesn't have that knockout power. It was just blunt trauma to Cerrone's head, and he couldn't take it. That's the fact of the matter right here today, to be honest. I don't know what Cerrone's going to do next. He's saying he's going to let us all know before his final fight. So he came out and he was like, look, everybody will know when it's my last fight. He'll say in advance. So until he says in advance, he's not going to retire, apparently. He was talking about maybe making another run at 155 because like the people at 170 hit too hard, etc. But it's like when you're getting dropped and finished at 155 a few times in a row, move up to 170, get finished in 40 seconds by McGregor. Granted, they're both kind of 155ers, and then lose to Pettis, even though I do think he beat Pettis, then lose to Nico Price, take a lot of damage in all of those fights, majority of them were knockouts. It's kind of hard to even argue him in the next few years getting a title shot, you know what I mean? He's been around for so long, he's had his title shots, he's lost, but he was in the right mindset this week, and he got clipped and he got caught and he lost, you know. Every single time Cerrone fights, he doesn't look any different. He comes out with the same cowboy style. He's very good, but he's not great. And he's old now. He's 38, competing with 29-year-olds. I think Alex Morono is 8 years younger than him. You know what I mean? That is such like a massive age difference when it comes to damage taken and stuff. Like if Cerrone had been fighting once every year for the past 8 years and is just fighting this unranked guy because he's not been very active in Morono, Cerrone might perform better because he's not taking this constant knockout damage for 8 years straight. Like, I'm just rambling at this point, but it's like, what do you do with Cerrone now? Like, if the guy's not like ambitious to win a title or anything, then why keep him around to just keep getting battered? You know what I mean? It's like, you can call him a gatekeeper all you want, but the guy is he loves the sport so much, but there's a difference between loving the sport and being stuck in a streak where you lose and you lose and you lose, you know. I think the main reason people love the sport is when you win, you know what I mean? So, like, if he loves losing, then he's doing a great job, you know, but all respect to him, he gets in there, he does his thing every time, one of the greatest legends of MMA of all time, but I can't go over what I've seen, you know. I didn't see anything special from Cerrone all week. I've been loving his interviews. He's talking a really good game. It's felt like the old cowboy, the RDA cowboy, you know, everybody. He's got the spring in his step, the aggression. But he went out there, and again, it wasn't as if he was hungry for like that to hurt somebody, you know what I mean? I think maybe that's his problem. Maybe like he was saying all week, oh, I want to hurt this motherfucker, saying all this, and he's like, you know, and I think he would have beat Diego Sanchez if Diego Sanchez didn't pull out, and he would have broken this rut, this streak of losing that he's in. He would have went back down to 155, and then we go from there. Another first round knockout. Will they renew his contract? Will they what? He's going to have to sit down and actually plan out what's next for him, because if he just takes random fights without being intelligent about it, he needs to win, first of all. He shouldn't be looking to make his run at 155 yet. Go back down to 155. Pick a fight that you know you will win. I hate saying that. Pick a fight you are extremely confident in your abilities when it comes to facing that person. Know in your mind, right, if I play this like this, I would definitely win if you don't get clipped and knocked out. Get back in the win column at 155. Pick a top 15 guy, beat them. Then you go into maybe like, you know what I mean? It's going to be so difficult to even give the guy a title shot ever again. I'm saying it as if in some random universe he will eventually climb back up at 38 years old and win a title, you know what I mean? The guy takes too much damage, in my opinion, and I love Donald Cerrone. It probably sounds like I'm hating on him, but I'm just being truthful. That's what I do over here. I'm going to be so truthful. Fighters I love, fighters I hate, I'm going to be so fucking honest when it comes to my opinion on what's next for them. Cerrone, he should have a few more fights, get back in the win column, maybe get one fight against somebody he's got a bit of a rivalry with, you know. He could do this. He could get a few wins at 155 next. If he wins, if he breaks this rut, because it's very difficult to break a streak when you're in the streak, your mind isn't in the right place. And then maybe like this one last fight, and they could sell it as like Cerrone's last opportunity to get into the top 10 or something. They could sell it like that. If he wins, he's gonna be he's back. Cerrone's back. If he loses, that's him done. You know, I think they could get a really good thing out of that. Maybe chuck it on the main card of a pay-per-view, something like that. You know, something like that. I mean, also on the card, the women's main event, I wasn't expecting much of it because Michelle Waterson usually just jabs the air. But, you know, it wasn't bad. You know, the first 2 rounds were shite, and then the third, fourth, and fifth were a bit better. I'm not really here to talk about that main card, though, because it wasn't really spiking my interest. Neil Magny beat GF Neil by decision. That was a good performance. I mean, both those guys have no star qualities, in my opinion. They both have really nothing to their personalities, so they're not going to really be ever put on, like, a big stage. You know, Neil Magny just lost convincingly to Chiesa after showing he has no fight IQ whatsoever to do whatever is necessary. You know, when you get, for Neil Magny, I'm not meaning to ramble on, but when you get into the clinch with Chiesa and he's taking you down every single time, and he's done that for 4 rounds straight, typically you don't want to engage in the clinch with him, but instead Magny grabbed them and stuff. So I really have no interest in watching a Neil Magny fight ever again. But I'm here to talk about Cerrone versus Alex Morono. Next, for Alex Morono, he lost to Pettis. He beat Rhys McKee, who's recently been cut from the UFC. The guy, he can't really string wins together, you know, so it's a really bad loss for Cerrone. Like, I mean, Cerrone's been losing to top quality competition, and now he's just lost to Alex Morono. So it's like, right, where's Cerrone's skill set really at? You know, we always used to say, like, he could beat anybody coming up, but he couldn't beat anybody at the top. So he was always in the middle, always staying, keeping his contract, everything. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Cerrone. I just come on to give you my thoughts on the whole situation. And yeah, just give me my thoughts pretty much, boys. I'm back post on this channel again. I took a massive break. I'm so sorry. Like, I just lost it. I just lost the thing in my head of like wanting to tell you everybody what's going on. Probably gonna be doing some fight companions and stuff very soon, coming up with prediction videos, that type of thing. So see you soon, boys. I hope you all enjoyed. That's just my thoughts. Donald Cerrone, if he can't go down to 155 in his next fight and string a win together, then he shouldn't even think about trying to fight any more times than that. Like, it's such a shame. I'd never want to see this guy retire, but it's now becoming more painful to watch him like even just say he wants to fight again than him actually losing, if that makes any sense. It's like when you lose that many times in a row and then you keep saying, oh, you're going to come back, and then each time you say you're going to come back, you get knocked out in a round again. It's so like, I mean, the guy can take a shot, or he could take a shot, and he still can take a punch. He can take that blunt trauma, but he can't stay in the fight. He can't survive. You get fighters like Kevin Holland who can be battered, or Nate Diaz, and just survive, and that is youth. You know what I mean? Cerrone can't survive anymore. He can be battered, but he can't stay in there, which is a shame, and it's really painful to watch. But I mean, I love Donald Cerrone, so that's all I'm really going to say on the matter. Hope you all enjoyed. See you soon. Subscribe.